Good morning. Welcome to day 3 of Virtual Market Week, and we're kicking off with a great panel this morning. We're going to be talking about the benefits of wood-based cellulosic fibers, and we have the experts of experts here with us today. One quick housekeeping note, you will be able to ask questions following their presentations. Just look at the box below your screen. That's where you put your questions in. If you have questions for a specific speaker, please let us know. And now I'm going to let you know who we're going to be hearing from. We have Liesl Truscott from the Textile Exchange. We have Carolyn Ledl who is head of product management of textiles at Lenzing. Uh, Ebru from head of home and interior global business development at Lenzing, and Walter Bridgham from Lenzing, the senior business development manager for home and interiors in North America, one of our neighbors in New York. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We're going to kick off very quickly with a video that's going to tell us, just give us the basics on how wood-based cellulose fibers are made. So let's cut to that.
Hi, everybody. It's lovely to be here today. As the urgency to transition to a regenerative and circular use of the Earth's resources, man-made cellulosics are just going to be a more and more important part of that picture. So I'm Liesl Truscott. I'm the Director of the Fiber Materials Strategy at Textile Exchange. And for those that don't know us very well, we're a non-profit organization. We're set up to inspire and equip the industry to maximize the positive effects on society and the environment. And we have a vision to protect and restore people's lives and the environment in which we operate. So it's good to be here today. I'm going to talk a little bit about the data behind the man-made cellulosics picture. You can see in front of you now a global production diagram, and you can see that the majority of the fibers that we're using at the moment come from synthetics, most predominantly polyester. And on the left there, you can see the green bar for cotton and the brown slice for man-made cellulosics. So it's the renewable and regenerative, as I was saying, part of the materials basket that we want to see grow and expand in a sustainable way. And on the synthetic side, we want to see more use of secondary inputs or reclaimed materials. And I think on the next slide, it will show you just an overview of that growth, which is not necessarily heading in the way we want to see it go yet. We're still seeing a big growth of that orange bar on the diagram on the left that shows that synthetics, virgin polyester and nylons are still the lion's share of the material use. But the diagram on the right is encouraging and shows that the portion of man-made cellulosics in that overall basket of fibers is definitely growing and poised to grow even further. It's currently about 6%. But yeah, cutting to the ambition that we have around what we call preferred materials. We see this as, if you like, a direction of travel. So there's not one size fits all or a perfect black and white scenario between what's in and what's out when we talk about preferred. And it's not necessarily a linear pathway where every criteria around sustainability improves along that path. But overall, as I was saying right at the beginning, we want to see a move to a regenerative and circular use of the Earth's resources. And that's that ambition, that direction of travel that this shows on the diagram here. On the next slide, thanks, Walter, it just gives a breakdown by material type of those preferred fibers that we're looking at the moment. They usually are packaged within a standard or a certification process that gives us that criteria and that transparency around what it means to be preferred and what those criteria are within that offering. As you can see with man-made cellulosics, at the moment, the focus, or at least the way of assessing a man-made cellulosic is very much around the forestry certification, the FSC or the PFC, and there's others in that bracket as well. There's also preferred technologies that we know exist, say, within the production of lyocell. But this is an area to watch. It's certainly an area with a lot of attention in terms of transparency, in terms of growth in direction and assessment criteria around that entire forest pulping, viscose, and sort of the actual fiber production point. So a lot going on that will be talked about on the next slide soon, I think. Thanks, Walter. This diagram here really just once again shows you those slices by material. And you can see that within the production of man-made cellulosics, around 40 to 50% is certified to one forest standard or another, which is a really great start when we start to think about nature impacts, biodiversity, really looking at what is happening and where we need to focus our efforts on the forestry side of things. So next slide, please, Walter. This shows, if you like, a mirror image in terms of uptake of materials. So before we were talking about production, and now we're looking at the uptake. And this is a very small, if you like, part of the uptake world. It's really focused around the brands and retailers that are reporting into Textile Exchange in our corporate fiber materials benchmark program. But once again, if we just look at man-made cellulosics, you can see that the portion of use, around 7% as opposed to the 6%, is very reflective of the production. But the uptake within this group of preferred at 32% isn't a bad start, and we'll be monitoring this progress year on year. And the next slide, also some results from our benchmarking program. Pretty shows what you'd expect around recognition of risks organized by forestry through to pulp and fiber production. And you can see deforestation is right up there. And then when you get into the manufacturing, we're looking at more at the water pollution, air pollution side of things, health and safety, etc. But those results and the results that you can see here, which comes from some research we did with the industry to look at, well, where are the hotspots for you as a company? Where do you want to see us focus on as an industry? And of course, it's a broad ranging spectrum of opportunities for improvement. around forestry management and that circularity opportunity that is very exciting for this industry, transparency and traceability, which I know Lenzing's doing a lot of work in, is very active in helping us with the direction of travel. So I think on the next slide just shows how we're pulling this knowledge and information into our convening platform, our man-made cellulosic roundtable, which really brings the industry together to start opening up those dialogues and sharing of knowledge and best practice and inspiration and ideas that will hopefully accelerate some of the improvements and opportunities for that growth of renewable fiber that we really need to see as we heavily focus in on withdrawing from fossil-based virgin materials. On the next slide, just to really close out, is to draw that the data that I was just talking about, the role of the convening space that we run into our exciting new Climate Plus strategy, which of course aligns urgently with most of the world right now, right, as we look for solutions to climate change. And the plus bit in here is just to really emphasize how embedded, particularly when we look at raw materials, climate change is with biodiversity, water, soil health, and the need to really look at this in a holistic and interconnected way. So I'd like to pause here. Thank you for your time, and I'll hand it over to Caroline.
Thank you very much, Liesl. It was very interesting and a really good overview of preferred fibers and also man-made cellulosics. Welcome also from my side. Hello from Austria. My name is Caroline Ledl, and I'm the head of product management textiles at Lenzing Fiber Group. Today, I want to just, we heard a lot about man-made cellulosics and preferred fibers already. And as Lenzing, we are offering and producing innovative wood-based fibers. So we fall into this 7% category of fiber materials used in the textile industry. We offer two brands, and there we have our TENCEL brand and our Lenzing EcoVero brand. Under those two brands, we subsumize all our fiber products for the textile industry. And we're going to start with the right side of your screen. That's a Lenzing EcoVero. That's a branded viscose fiber. And we are very keen also talking about what innovations can we offer and what makes our fibers different. When we look at Lenzing EcoVero, it's a viscose fiber that has lower environmental footprint, up to 50% less emissions and less water impacts compared to generic viscose. And in addition, and we also have a fiber identification system so that you can be sure that you're using Lenzing EcoVero. This viscose fiber we also have in spun dyed black color, so you don't have to use any dyeing anymore if you want to produce black or melange fabrics. Under our TENCEL brand, we find our lyocell and modal fibers. Lyocell and modal are newer fiber types than viscose, and we've been producing those fibers for quite a long time. In the modal production, we have around 80 years of experience, as well in the lyocell production, more than 25 years already. So we already had a lot of time also to develop very innovative fibers. In our modal product family, one of the newest one is the EcoPure technology. This is a modal fiber that is totally chlorine-free bleached. So the wood, the pulp, and also the fiber is totally chlorine-free. EcoColor technology is is as well spun dyed fibers. We offer modal fibers in a broad range of colors, so that you can really choose what kind of color do you need and how does this fit best to your products. We also offer a micro technology, meaning we offer even two fibers having less than 1 dtex of fiber tighter. This gives you the possibility to create even lightweighter and softer fabrics. And we even have a modal micro air, which can be used for very fine and lightweight fabrics. Our modal loft goes a bit in a different direction. It is a bit coarser. It can be used in different applications. And I think my colleague Ebru will go into more detail here about the applications. Last but not least, Lyocell, that's our newest fiber generation. It is produced in a closed loop process, differently to viscose and modal, meaning you can reuse the solvent for the fiber production more than 99%, giving you a very good environmental impact. And there I want to highlight very briefly our Refibra technology. This is a fiber type made out of partly recycled cotton waste, which is blended with wood pulp and then spun into a fiber, which give you the same properties as using only virgin materials. Also for our Lyocell products, we have a micro technology, so lightweight and fine fibers, as well as a fiber specifically for filling applications, as in, for example, duvets or pillows. And last but not least, we also have cross-link Lyocell fibers, which are giving you the same benefits of a Lyocell fiber, and you can use them with very specific blending partners. They are engineered to be blended with cotton or polyester or linen, so that you have a very good opportunity to use our Lyocell fibers in different versions. So if you go to the next slide, I want to tell a little bit about why we are also proud to be a preferred material supplier, because at Lenzing, sustainability is at the core of our strategy. What you see here is our sustainability targets and strategy. So, and it's called Naturally Positive. For us, some of the goals are really, we want to be part of greening the value chain. We want to be the raw material that allows also to have a green and environmental friendly textile production. We believe strongly in circularity, not only in recycling, but also in biodegradability of our fibers and the reuse of materials, as well as not creating any waste in our production. All of this is only possible if we partner for change, not only with institutions or other companies, but also and foremost with our customers to create a green and sustainable textile industry. And I picked two of our sustainability targets and focuses. One of them is our strict wooden pulp sourcing policy, which has to do with the raw material security. We are not sourcing any wood or pulp from controversial sources, and we are also audited by Canopy on this. In the last Canopy reports in also last year, Lenzing was ranked at the highest point. So we are very happy that all our Lenzing product sites are also FSC chain of custody certified. And just a little bit as a background, dissolving wood pulp, which is really the base of our production, uses only 1% of the global harvested wood. And our wood is mainly made out of beech, spruce, or eucalyptus for the production. Another one of our very important targets in the sustainability area is decarbonization. And we are very proud to be the first wood-based fiber manufacturer with approved science-based targets in the industry. We have set carbon reduction targets last year, and they've been approved in November 2019 as well. We will reduce our specific carbon emissions by 50% until 2030. And in addition to our science-based targets, we also have a vision for 2050 to become net zero carbon emissions by this time, meaning we're trying really to cut all our emissions. In addition, we also have targets for water stewardship, trying to save as much water as possible in our production, but also with some of our products where there is less water and chemicals needed within the production process of textiles. And we are also creating sustainable innovations, as I mentioned before, as an example, our Refibra technology or our eco-color technology. And when we move to the next slide, I'm going to show you a bit about the environmental impact of our TENCEL fibers. So as I mentioned before, they are very innovative as based on their production process, which is a closed loop process. And they can help a lot in reducing the impact on the textile value chain. What you can see here are the material, the Higg MSI scores of our TENCEL lyocell fiber compared to conventional cotton and polyester. We are using this graphic from a Sustainable Apparel Coalition, Higg MSI. It has 5 different categories. So we have the global warming score, we have the eutrophication, water scarcity, and abiotic resource depletion, so meaning use of fossil fuels, as well as new now in the system, also the chemistry score. As you can see, our TENCEL lyocell has very low figures, especially when it comes to water utilization and eutrophication, especially compared with cotton. And when we compare it to polyester, you can clearly see that there the use of fossil fuels for our fibers is much lower, resulting in a lower environmental footprint, which really helps the industry to become more sustainable and create a nice environment also for the future. And with this, I will give to Ebru.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Again from Austria. I'm Ebru Bayramoglu. I'm head of Home and Interior Global Business Development here in Lenzing. I would like to walk through with you our fiber types and common applications with our fiber types on home textile segment. I'll especially focus on our TENCEL branded fibers, so TENCEL lyocell or TENCEL modal. As my colleague Carolina explained to you, we are able to make production of 3 generations of cellulosic fibers. But on home textile segment, we especially focus and well known with our lyocell type and modal type fibers. When it comes to lyocell type, like Caro explained to you, we have different type of lyocell fibers. And each type of lyocell is used on different home applications. And with its unique benefits, it gives certain advantages and certain attributes to the final product, which I will explain to you in next pages. So if you start from lyocell, we have standard type, which is very well used in bed linen, carpet and rug, mattress sticking, upholstery, or curtain segment. And we have lyocell micro type, which is used on bed linen segment. And when it comes to cross-linked fibers, as Carolina explained to you previously, we can also offer cross-linked fibers, which is a good blending partner with cotton or with wool or synthetic fiber types. Depend on lyocell fiber type, different applications is possible. Like with LF fiber types, low fibrillation fiber types, we can offer good products for towel and bath segment, blankets, upholstery, curtain, or any type of knitted fitted sheet. And when it comes to A100 fiber type, it's a good blending part with wool and synthetic. So that's why it can be used on upholstery, blanket, curtain, or carpet and rug segment. We also offer field fiber type under lyocell family. And our fibers are used on pillow, comforter, or furniture fillings as a filling material. And we also have coarser fiber types, which is a good product for carpet and rug and blankets. And as Caroline explained you before, again, we have a refibra fiber type, which is under lyocell family. But the raw material of it is consumer waste as well as wood part. But the attributes is same as all our other lyocells fiber types, and we can offer refibra on standard type, LF, low fibrillation type, or field type. And under TENCEL family, we have also modal fiber types. And our modal fibers, I divided into two categories, which is commonly used in home textile, standard and micro type. EcoPure standard or EcoPure micro. They are mainly used on knitted fitted sheet, bed linen, and blanket products. And when it comes to loft, a bit coarser type of modal, it's a very good fiber type for towel and bath mat, upholstery, or carpet and rug segment. Next slide, please. Okay, so our fibers is having some attributes and some benefits on final product. And those benefits are always based on our scientific studies, internal or external research, and some cooperations with different institutes. So when our fiber is used enough amount in one product type, the final product will have some benefits and attributes, and all those benefits can be used by requested brand or retailer. For us to be able to provide our claims or attributes on products, we have certification regulations, and our certification regulations need certain type of fiber, of our fiber in final product. In most of the cases, it is 30%, but it's changing sometimes from product type to product type. So it's always better to check with us, with our regional operations, what is best and what to do best. When we talk about TENCEL lyocell, with TENCEL lyocell in one final product, in one home textile product, you can always get benefit of minimal static charge, moisture management, unfavorable for bacteria growth, always biodegradable, gentle on skin, smoothness. It's a good blending partner either with cotton or with synthetics or with wool. It can help better sleep comfort, and it makes better drape, it makes good color and sheen, and it becomes a very strong product at the end, so strength and loop security for towel applications. When it comes to TENCEL modal fiber type, it provides as an attribute long-lasting softness, moisture management, voluminous, especially on towel products, color retention, and biodegradability as well. Next, please. Okay. Here I want to walk through with you again very briefly on which subsegment of home textile, what fiber type is used commonly, and what are the unique advantages and claims. As I explained previously, on bed linen segment, lyocell standard, lyocell micro, modal standard, modal micro, or refibra standard is heavily used. And when you use one of our fiber types, enough content, enough amount, you can get the advantages of better sleeping comfort, gentle on skin, unfavorable for bacteria growth, strength, blending partner with cotton and synthetics, sustainability, and biodegradability. When it comes to towel part, we suggest our customers and value chain partners to use Lyocell LF, Modal Loft, or Refibra LF. And at that time, you can get better moisture absorption, softer handle, voluminous, good color retention, better loop security, sustainability, and biodegradability. And all those attributes, additional claims is done together with blend with cotton, for example. So you can always play with your product and make different hand feeling based on different percentages of our fiber type. And when it comes to bedding essentials, like fill product type, pillows or comforters, we offer Lyocell fill or Refibra fill product fiber types. And you can get better sleeping comfort, gentle feel on skin, better hygienic qualities. So it is unfavorable bacteria growth and low dust mite growth, and sustainability, and of course biodegradability, like Caroline explained to you. And for upholstery segment, we have more fiber type to offer, like Lyocell Standard, Lyocell LF, Lyocell A100, Refibra Standard, Refibra LF, or Modal Loft. Depends on what type of product you want to make and what kind of hand feel you need or blend, honestly. Again, I put here better sleeping comfort. Sometimes we sleep on our sofas also. Gentle feel on skin, better hygienic qualities. Again, unfavorable bacteria growth, this means, or low dust mite growth. Strength, and it's a good blending partner with different fiber types, sustainability story, and also the biodegradability. On carpet and rug segment, we see in the industry that Lyocell Standard, Lyocell Coarse, Modal Loft, and Refibra Standard are used. Again, it is gentle on skin, so when you are on any carpet and rug product made out of our fibers, it's very nice touch to step on it. It has a good moisture management, better hygienic qualities like all other segments, unfavorable bacteria growth, low dust mite growth, strength, minimal static charge, sheen. It's a good blending partner with wool and synthetics. You can really have different product as blending, as a blend partner to other commonly used fiber types. Sustainability and biodegradability story. And last one that I want to talk is curtain. Again, our Lyocell Standard, Lyocell LF, Lyocell A100, Refibra Standard, or Refibra LF can be used on curtain applications, depends on your blend needs and your final product needs. It gives a natural look, better drape, better wrinkle recovery, better and long-lasting softness, sustainability, and biodegradability. As I mentioned before, to be able to get those attributes in your final product, you need to have certain amount of our fiber, which is according to our certification rules. So it's always better to check with us when you are creating any product or when you need any product made out of our fiber types. So now I want to hand over to Walter. Yeah.
Hi there. Hi there. So far, we've learned about wood-based cellulosic fibers from Liesl and Textile Exchange, how they're made, how important they are as being a preferred fiber for textiles and their growth in the fiber portfolio, how preferred fibers like TENCEL support the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, which are working to improve the climate situation and many other global situations. We heard from Caroline from our product team. Then we went through the Lenzing various fibers under the TENCEL brand and the EcoVero brand. She went over the new innovations available from Lenzing under these brands and the traceability available with these fibers. Then she shared the sustainability strategy for Lenzing and for production of these fibers. Caroline also shared the low environmental impact of our TENCEL Lyocell fibers compared to cotton and PET. Low global warming, low water scarcity score, low chemistry score, and note that the low scores are the better scores here. Then we heard from Ebru from our global business development team. She took us through the variety of TENCEL fibers types and how the specific types are designed for specific end uses in home products. From a fluffier and more absorbent towel, a more sustainable fills for added sleeping comfort, fibers that are used in knitted products and fibers to blend with wool and other blended fibers. Also, even our more sustainable technology like Liesl Refibra. She also took you through the great attributes that TENCEL branded fibers bring to home products, comfort and sustainability above all. She shared a super easy tool to use in designing process, the right fiber attributes for the right home product application. So with that, I'm going to talk you through connecting, branding, and marketing tools. So here, connecting. Lenzing has a global presence where we have developed supply chains for local use and global use. If you're looking for a new source that works with TENCEL branded fibers, we can connect you for new suppliers. We can also help develop your existing supplier chain for using TENCEL branded fibers. We have a global technical customer service team to onboard, educate, and solve production problems for the best possible end product result. Our global business development team is continually working with our mills, for developing new fabrics, blends, and uses of our fibers and supply chains. As an example, we are building a broader supply chain for interior fabrics for use in window and upholstery, and that's on top of our already broad supply chain for bedding, home bedding, and bath products. All while bringing along our deep stance on sustainability and setting standards for the industry of man-made cellulosic fibers. Now I'll move to branding. We conducted a proprietary consumer study commissioned with the Nielsen Group, which showed TENCEL to be the #1 most recognized sustainable fiber brand, which is outstanding. A lot of work has gone into this, and we're seeing the results from it, and as the consumers recognizing us. So the study was conducted in 9 countries, 1,000 respondents in each country, and here's some of the things that we found. The key attributes that TENCEL was known for or associated with are natural and breathability, gentle on the skin, made from natural materials, eco-friendly, a trusted brand, used by brands you know. 80% of the respondents are extremely interested in sustainable textiles. 86% think sustainable raw materials equals a more sustainable lifestyle. TENCEL brand has shown 20% growth in brand awareness since 2018. And it continues to grow with this brand being recognized in so many different segments between undergarments, denim, and clothing. Another interesting thing is bedding purchasers' behavior. 74% conducted research before making a purchase. 86% read hang tags or packaging. 40% are willing to pay more for sustainable products. 50% favor seeing terms like natural, eco-friendly in a product description, and 60% favor seeing recyclable and biodegradable afterlife in the description. 3 top information elements needed by consumers to develop confidence in sustainable brands. 87% said what raw materials were used. 87% again, what overall impact the brand has on the environment. 86% whether the product was produced in a sustainable manner. This summary is the summary of our study shows the importance of sustainability and how TENCEL branded fibers are great added value to this message and to the product. Now I'll jump into our marketing tools. Registering your products with TENCEL branded fibers is easy and free and allows you to use the recognizable brand on the products and in marketing. Lenzing also has many marketing programs that are available at no cost. Participation in our Where to Buy TENCEL. We have over 150 brands with links to their products, and you can find that on tencel.com. Marketing in our social media programs on Instagram and Facebook, where we have influencer programs, ambassador programs, contests, and takeover programs, all to drive awareness and sales of TENCEL products with TENCEL fibers. We also have our Total Home Market TENCEL page, part of the Total Home Market site. Here, we're moving to featuring brands, videos, and highlight programs for B2B interaction. So look more for that from me, reaching out to you, or reach out to me for participation in that. Product pages and packaging content. So we have a lot of digital assets, videos, as you saw one of our series of 5 about TENCEL, and hang tags and stickers that are available at no cost to you to utilize these on your packaging. Also available are larger co-branding B2C programs and marketing with shared support from Lenzing. And lastly, we're working on building a Made in America supply chain. We have a plant in Mobile, Alabama, where we make TENCEL fibers, which are really good for sheeting. And this, with the fiber being made in the US, really supports the Made in America branding and messaging and jobs. We are looking for interested partners to work with us on this task to grow Made in America. Now we'll take a look at a new TENCEL video just released yesterday. And thank you.
Great information, everybody. Thank you so much. Quick reminder for everybody who's watching this live. If you have a question, use the Q&A box below your viewing window. And if you have questions for a particular presenter, please indicate that. So let's get started. Liesl, what does Textile Exchange see as some of the more important issues around the subject of man-made cellulosic fibers? If buyers or product developers are looking to use MMC, what should they be thinking about and what should they be looking out for?
No, great question, and really ties in with this direction of travel that I was mentioning earlier. We do need to move to more renewable, more regenerative and restorative materials that come into our supply chain. We need to decouple from fossil-based or harmful materials. And there's a great open opportunity for man-made cellulosics to really fill more of that gap. I think what people need to look for is transparency and confidence around the sourcing of the feedstock. They need to look at, some of the topical issues around chemical use within factories and water and pollution. And I think some of these, these hotspot areas of concern are more on people's minds now than they have been before. So being able to work with a supplier that can give that level of confidence, can explain, what's going on, the mitigation in place, and really that it's, I think, as much is about that transparency and being able to have that conversation and support the understanding of where progress is being made. And Lenzing's obviously done so much work. It's been in the DNA right from the start, but we do need the industry to transform, as I think was mentioned by Caroline and Walter. So it needs to be a wider scope, and really, you know, the opportunity here is to learn from what Lenzing's doing as that road forward. So
Okay.
yeah, transparency and yeah, conversations.
And I think there have been some issues in, not with Lenzing, obviously, but in other parts of the world with deforestation and not playing straight, right, about where the stocks are coming from that are going into the fibers, correct? Is this still a pretty big issue?
I think there's, you know, once again, like any supply chain, it's been very difficult to join all the dots. You know, forestry and the multiple industries that forestry caters to, right? Not just textiles. Walter obviously mentioned sort of non-wovens as well, but beyond that, you know, we're looking at potential threats to forests, from land clearing, for grazing, for all sorts of reasons, and the connections between, say, the farm, or in some cases, you know, the family-owned farm or forest, or, you know, larger scale operations, and even into a you know, a production, a value chain can be very disconnected. So it's really, it's getting better. The tools are there, the conversations on the table now. For anybody that's in the UK, we've got David Attenborough telling us we have to act urgently. So once again, having Lenzing lead the way on forestry and nature is so important for the rest of us to learn from. So yeah, getting that clarity, you're absolutely right, Jennifer, is quite challenging at times.
Ebru, can you address the global availability of Lenzing fibers?
I mean, we have different production units globally. We have our production factory here in Austria. We have two factories. One we have in UK, one we have, as Walter mentioned, in US, Alabama. And we do have a factory in Indonesia, and we do have a factory also in China. And our lyocell and modal fiber types are produced in Austria, UK, and in US. But we are also under a new investment in Thailand. In Thailand, also in 2 years' time, we will start our lyocell production. And we have a global sales channels and regional technical customer support teams. And through those channels, we are able to reach any customer, any place in the world.
Okay, and Walter, we have a marketing question about the new TENCEL video. Where's it going to be featured? Is it meant for B2B or B2C? And I've got a couple other questions behind that.
Sure. So that the first video that we saw is really geared towards adding product to product pages because it's short enough, and we have it broken out in different segments between its biodegradability, the attributes, or a segment just on the production of lyocell, which seems to be helpful. We know video is very helpful in selling products online. Our latest video that just came out yesterday, we posted on our TENCEL USA Instagram page, but it's also available for use on B2C is really where it's geared. We have two versions, one with brands, all the brands listed at the tail end, and then we have ones without any branding listed, which I think are ideal for some of our partners to utilize in helping explain TENCEL and lyocell.
Okay, next question for Ebru. Can you please talk a little about the antibacterial aspects of lyocell and whether this is something that you think will be playing up more in the brand messaging?
Antibacterial aspect, due to cellulosic fiber natural reaction towards moisture and moisture management, it is not a favorable environment for any bacteria growth. So this is one of the reasons, and we have scientific studies and scientific tests for that. And antibacterial aspects are always hot topic. but there are many different type of bacteria in the world. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. The tests that we did are commonly found bacteria on home textile products, and there's a clear test showing that any product made out of our fiber type is having less bacteria growth in its own environment. With interested people, we can always share those data.
Okay, next question. I'm guessing this is maybe Caroline, but you guys can decide. Very interesting presentations, thank you. Can you give an indication of where these various lensing materials fit in cost-wise with its alternatives and what should be considered in measuring those things?
Yeah, then I will start. Maybe my colleagues will also add some points there. When we look at the production of sustainable fibers, we need to be aware that looking also on the environmental footprint, often we could seem that there is a slight premium in those fiber types, which is only when you look at the raw material of fiber, a very small percentage of the overall textile production and value chain. So a change in fiber types should not result in a large change of product prices. But there needs to be said that looking at preferred materials and looking at innovations, we are also very proud that our fibers are part of a branded premium sector for our brands and retail partners, offering them the possibility to really show their sustainability engagement to their customers.
Okay.
So I can add to that. You think about products, you think about your branded premium fibers. You've got organic cotton is more expensive than standard cotton. You've got Pima, you've got Supima. So you've got your different levels looking at that. And then you've also got your recycled polyesters, which are at a slight premium than regular polyester because of the additional processing that's required, collection, etc. So our fibers fall within above cotton, but not at the premium level. So, and then you talk about the innovations, those will step up as the innovation because the innovation is science behind it, etc. So it's a slight premium when you get to the basics. So you can have a great sheet, and if you blend it 30%, you're getting great attributes. If you do it at 100%, it's going to be at a different price point, but you're going to have totally different attributes. So it's across the board, and it's all in how you use it for your end result and hitting different price points, which you can do with it.
Well, and TENCEL is a trademark brand, so there are requirements around how it's used, correct?
Yes. So we require a minimum of 30% in most of our products. When you get into mattress ticking, it's a little bit different. Denim segment, again, a little different because the construction of the products are a little bit different. So with a minimum 30%, as Ebru said, all of our claims for the attributes that we say are there at that point. As you increase the percent, obviously the result of thermal regulation and these other attributes are enhanced because you have more of the fiber in there that delivers those results.
Okay, and Ebru, you kind of ran us through the various types of fibers and the various types of home product uses they go into. I'm curious, what product types are really dominant with TENCEL Fibers right now, and how do you see that growing in the future? I think, Walter, you mentioned window treatments, but how do you see the use of the fiber developing?
I mean, the most common product category in home textile segment is bed linen, because this is the first category started with our fiber types. And after that, we see toweling, I would say. And then other segments are coming. So we see great products on bedding essentials, I mean, field products type. This is also new category, but it's coming up because of, especially it is sleeping benefit attributes and also the sustainability story behind it. And carpet and rug segment is newly coming. Upholstery segment, we started recently to work on that segment, and window or curtain applications also are coming as new segment. But in the market, you will see mainly bed linen and towel products right now.
Okay, and we have a question that kind of relates again back to marketing, Walter, which is it Lenzing's responsibility or the brand's responsibility to educate consumers on sustainable products?
So I think it's a combination, because we are the raw material as the fiber, and we can speak to that as its sustainable aspect. And we do a lot of with certified products, validate claims that are used on packaging and online. Not everybody goes through our process, in which there we only check those that partner with us. Those that don't partner with us are making some false claims out there, and it's up to the retailer to check themselves, and because their consumers are smart and will come back and challenge them.
Okay, we have a question that I think is either going to be for Ebru or Caroline. My company produces tablecloths. What fabric would you suggest for wrinkle and stain resistance?
I can answer. Wrinkle, yes. Any type of TENCEL lyocell would be great. But anti-stain is another application on top of fabric. So we cannot really talk about anti-stain applications, but it's another process that they need to apply after preparing the fabric.
Okay.
But for wrinkle recovery, definitely lyocell or modal type is a good, good fiber choice.
Okay, we only got about 3 minutes left. Liesl, a question for you. What should brands and retailers be focusing on as they develop their man-made cellulosic fiber strategies?
Yeah, they should be focusing on really getting an understanding of volumes, matching, the different options that, we've heard from Lenzing between the modals and the lyocell's and etc. viscose with their product needs, and then within those particular options, what are the most sustainable. Looking at their sourcing destinations, looking at that sort of spatial geography kind of origin is going to become increasingly important from a materials strategy point of view, purely because, that's where the local impacts are being held. I think, to some extent, you can rely on your suppliers. Obviously talking a lot about the products that, and Walter just mentioned the way the Lenzing products can be used. I think there is certainly some big opportunity for companies to rely on what some manufacturers are saying they're looking after for them, and that's great. But I think the evolution and the maturation of these strategies inevitably takes companies towards more granular knowledge of sourcing. And just to finish up on where they can be great partners, where they can, we're talking about pricing and recognizing where the pricing's needed and what the value and impact that can be, and leveraging those values-based decisions in their marketing and communications and broader education of customers and consumers on why this is so important.
Okay, well, thank you. And I want to thank all of our panelists. There's been some great information here, some great slides, and some great information for all of you watching, that this session is being recorded, like all the other sessions this week. And so if you want to come back and review, or you want to tell one of your colleagues, hey, go check that out, that was great, you're going to find it on the Home Textiles Week platform. So everybody can share in the knowledge. Thank you again, everybody. Our next session is going to be in about 90 minutes at 10:30 Eastern time. In the meantime, everybody have a great day.